Hello everyone, welcome back to the latest update series of Drishti IAS. This is Revanth Reddy, and today we are going to discuss about a very important fact, whether Gen Zs will participate in 2029 Lok Sabha elections. A question has been raised and a dilemma has come forward, a debate has come forward, whether this will be happening and how will this be able to reshape India, right? So why this debate has risen, let's take a look at that. What happened recently was a debate came over youth participation, okay? It is regarding youth participation in Indian politics that has gained momentum. Why? Because an incident occurred. What was the incident? Telangana government came up with an idea that we should reduce the minimum age to contest Lok Sabha elections from 25 to 21, right? The minimum age should be from 25 to 21, that should be done. This proposition came forward with an idea that this would be an increasing role of Gen Zs, right? And in shaping public policy, governance, and this has drawn attention because of the youth protest at Jantar Mantar also, right? So amidst all that, the alleged need paper like where demonstrators by CJP, they demanded resignation of Union Education Minister. Protest generated a nationwide attention, but it has also sparked a debate over the language and methods adopted by some protesters, right? So they are saying that whether it was good or all bad, or whether it was just bad from the administrative point of view, or whether it was bad from the protesters' point of view as well. And should we really be creating a heroic structure here or giving them such a position without actually looking at that balanced truth, right? So let's see where this debate takes us, and I'll take your opinion as well. But here the key pointers are the Jantar Mantar win. This stems from the Jantar Mantar win because here satirical youth movement that was founded by digital strategist Abhijit Deepke alongside major student unions also, and this relentless agitation over national competitive exam paper leak, it forced obviously the resignation of Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, and the shift from the digital satire to street power has begun, right? An online viral movement began, and with that movement addressing youth unemployment, exam scams, this proved that Gen Z can mobilize offline at scale to extract accountability from highest level of government, right? Otherwise, people used to think that they'll do nothing but post on Instagram and stay at home. The myth has been broken, and the Gen Zs have taken to the road and proved that we will come outside, we will fight the offline battles also. If need be, we will come to that, right? Yeah. So now the debate has come that will they contest in 2029? Gen Zs are forming a decisive voting demographic. Naturally, yes. As a voting demographic, they are very strong. There is no doubt in that. But as a contestant, how strong they are, even if youth groups do not field candidates across every state, they will still have some candidates across some states bringing up a strategic appointment, right? A heavily shaped campaign, digital discourse, political narratives, because not only would the candidate be there, the voters are also mainly of this age group, right? They want change, they want different perspectives here, right? Potential candidates, leaders within the movement have sparked debate about whether to field independent young candidates or formalize a youth-centric party platform, right? They're thinking that whether we can give individual candidates, independent candidates, or we should form a proper party, a youth-led proper party to contest in the general elections of 2029, right? Exactly. The core issues driving the movement. What is driving this? The exam transparency, anti-establishment satire, and the demographic representation. They're advocating for younger representation in the parliament rather than relying on the old traditional methods and the veteran party elites, right? Hurdles are still there because transitioning from protest activism to electoral politics, that is a totally different step, right? It is not just about the protest, you would have to handle everything. Do you have the experience for that? Do you have the knowledge for that? Do you have the support base for that? That is a totally different spectrum. As we can see in Nepal, if we compare the situations with Nepal, we'll see that in Nepal also similar kind of thing was happening. Gen Zs protesting, Gen Zs coming onto the power. But after that, what happened? Can you see a stability in their political structure? No, right? While everything is positive, we see that we need new perspective, new Josh and everything. But at the same time, if we compare it to Nepal, and Nepal is such a small country, imagine what would happen to India, right? So the critiques or in the debate, the other side of the coin also says that India might not be ready for that, right? Because of the separatist tendencies, the growth in that, because of the whole old regime system and the faith in that, the charismatic leaders, everything that is to change might not create, it can destroy the current structure, there is no doubt in that. Okay, with the new idea, with the new provision, with the new perspective, they can destroy the current structure, there is no doubt in that. But the question arises, will they be able to establish a more stable one? That is where the problem lies. We might not be able to do that. We won't say we won't be able to do that. Anything is possible. But according to the recent possibilities, we'll see, and according to the examples that we've seen in different countries like Nepal, very difficult, very difficult. If it is not possible in a small country like Nepal, imagine what would happen to India. So it is not just about removing somebody from power. It is not just about coming up with something. It is about replacing with something good, something better, right? The destruction part, we've got that clear. But the replacement part, we don't still have any plan for that. Maybe in 3 years after the formation of party, they'll be able to come up with something. But right now, it is not possible, right? Because we have to have a stringent system, we have to have a strong system, reliable system, transparent system, accountable system. That is not just done because of transparency, because of digitalization. It is done because of the experience of the people, because sometimes truth is more harmful than the lie. Sometimes that happens. It creates so much of chaos that you cannot let people know the truth, right? It is just like in a family, we have somebody sick, right? There are people in the family who are like very, soft, very concerned, who take tension very quickly. So you tend to avoid telling them the seriousness or the gravity of the issue. Don't we do that? Sometimes we hide that from that particular person whom we know would not be able to emotionally handle it. It is same for the country as well, right? So sometimes it is not just about the truth. It is about who can handle the truth and what kind of truth needs to be spoken, right? So replacing it for sure, but establishing a more stable structure, that is doubtful, right? That is both the sides of the debate. Now you tell me, as a future administrator, as a citizen, also, what do you think would be better for India? Continuing the regime by making reforms as we are doing right now. Of course, there is a requirement of reforms and that will be there, right? Without that, it is impossible to continue as such. Continuing the current regime with reforms or totally switching it to a younger leader population. Which part of it would you support? What do you think would be a better future for India? Tell me in the comment section, and this is regarding this. But now, since Telangana has proposed something, let's talk about that also. Let's talk about the perspective of constitutional provision that allows the lowering of the age limit for contesting elections. Like, what is the structure that we have in India? How do we do it? Even if we want to do it, how would we? What is the procedure behind it? Let's understand that. In constitutional provision, we have Article 84B for Parliament and Article 173B for State Assemblies. The minimum age to contest is 25 years for Lok Sabha and 30 for Rajya Sabha or legislative councils. Likewise, debaters, while voting age was reduced from 21 to 18 in 61st Amendment 1988, the candidate age still remained to 25. So they're saying why? If you have reduced the voting age, you should also reduce the candidature age, right? So UPSC angle, if you take from here, examine arguments for and against lowering this, right? What should we do? At the same time, we should be administering the ideas like whether it should be lowered or it should be constant, right? The global precedent, like countries like UK, Germany, Canada, they allow citizens to contest national elections at the age of 18 also. Right, that is the global precedent. It is not something new that India would be doing, or it is not something that has not been experimented before, right? Countries have that. They have been running very securely on that. But does our education base really provide us that equality? That is also a question, right? So for mains question, try to write this. Try to write this argument for and against of the reduction of age. Okay, try to write this. And on that note, if you want more such discussions on current affairs, especially from the newspaper and PIB, you can join our session live at 8:30 a.m. Monday to Saturday. That runs on Drishti IAS English channel every day. All right, 8:30 a.m. live, where we discuss the Hindu newspaper, PIB analysis, as well as questions from the previous session. That is the structure of the class, and you can join it on Drishti IAS English channel, as you can see here, Monday to Saturday, 8:30 a.m. live. Okay. All right, so we have a practice question for you based on this, a practice question, like based on the minimum age and the structure that we have. Try to solve this question and give us your answer in the comment section. Done? All right, the answers B, 2 and 3, very nice. That was about it, and we'll have to see what happens, whether they form a party or come up with an individual candidate, or nothing happens at all. Right? Or maybe something entirely different happens. That is yet to see. The Indian political dynamics are constantly changing and constantly getting very, very, very interesting by every passing day. Right? All right, we'll be back with more updates. Until then, keep studying. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.